Hey guys, what's up? My name is Anthony. Welcome to another edition of VNA Sports Talk. So, wow, I was able to do the intro, like the full intro. I tried to do this a couple other times just today. It didn't really work. I'm still kind of coughing. I've been sick for 3 weeks now. Woo! But all the snot and saliva is gone. But you don't want to hear me talk about being sick. A little bit of a sick update. But I kind of want to do due diligence of a video uploaded a couple days ago. I basically discussed Saquon's role. And I discussed I focus a lot on like his injuries and stuff. I didn't do that much research into our actual backups. I kind of had a general idea of who they were. So I decided to do a little bit more of a deep dive. I didn't look into these guys like, history in college and stuff. I looked at their NFL careers and basically their pros, cons, and read a couple articles. And this is what I think. So let's start off with Armstead, who we claimed off waivers from the Jaguars. Now, the dude is, I should have got his stats, but the dude's a pretty thick dude. He's like 5'10", 220 pounds. The dude's a thick dude who had a battle with COVID last year. And, that's the main reason. And he just couldn't get back onto the field. So this is a pretty good story for him coming back. In 2019, 2019 going to 2020, he was supposed to be the number one running back. And then James Robinson took that spot from him. He was a favorite. Now, I don't think he would have been a good option. Now, Leonard Fournette, he averaged 4.6 yards per attempt. And he averaged 3.1. Now, I was like, oh, maybe that's just they're using him on, third and goal situations where they're on the one or, third and one situations. And that's not necessarily the case. I'll try to pull up the exact splits. A bulk of his carries were on 2nd and 8 to 10. And that's a prime recipe to gain that 4.5 yards per carry. That's like average for the league. And he didn't. Now, what I think this is he has his vision isn't great. And he's a north-south runner. He'll run right into the offensive line's ass before he tries to find a hole. And sometimes on the screens to the outside, he doesn't have he hasn't like the vision to know when to cut up forward. And that leads to some negative gains. And I saw that on film. Like, just cut up. And the Jaguars' offensive line wasn't an offensive line to push. It wasn't a great offensive line, even though they had Jawan. Yeah, did they have Jawan Taylor? Yeah, they had Jawan Taylor. I like Jawan Taylor. A former Gator. But yeah, their offensive line is nothing to scream about. That's why Armstead kind of struggled. It's 3.1 yards per attempt again. The main thing they used him is receiving threat. I think he had more receptions and had more of a duty in the receiving game than the rush game. And that means the coaching staff saw either the offensive line sucked or he sucked at rushing or a little bit of both. And I think he had like 10 yards per reception, which is pretty impressive. That was like one of the top on the team. It's really good for a running back. He's pretty good out in space. He's a really physical runner. He'll plow you over. So Armstead is going to be more of a receiving threat, more of a third down guy, maybe a guy on 3rd and 1, which he wasn't really used for. A guy's going to run into the ass of the guy and just keep the legs churning, keep pushing. And hopefully he's healthy enough to do that. And in the receiving game, I think he did have 2 drops, but I don't think that's going to be that big of an issue. It was mainly like Gardner Minshew was like extending the play, and then he was just like chuck it to Armstead. And it's like, okay, you didn't really give the guy a shot. And drops kind of happen. I don't think it's going to be that big of an issue. Next, let's talk about Clement. But the first thing I saw from him, I thought great. Like, I thought this guy is actually a low-key, pretty good signing. Then the more I saw of him, I was like, I don't know. He seems like more of a third down guy, kind of like a Armstead. He doesn't have game-breaking speed. He doesn't have anything like that. He had that shoulder injury a couple years ago. He has 4.6 speed, 4.65 speed, I believe. He's just good in pass pro. A third down back. He's going to receive some balls. And his best year was his rookie season. And he hasn't really matched that ever since. I kind of feel bad for the guy just a little bit because he wasn't really used that much. I feel like he should have been used just a little bit more than what he actually was being used for. So he had this past year 3.6 yards per attempt. The year before, 3.8. The year before that, 4.3. And then he's good in the receiving game. I feel bad because he kind of was bad for the Eagles. And looking at his advanced stats, he had 1 drop. But he's pretty good. He's actually pretty good out in space. He'll get that first down for you. He's a hard worker, hard runner. This may just be a special teams guy. Just looking at him, and that's what kind of it seems. So you have two kind of special teams guy, utility guys, third down guys. But then you get to Booker. That he's going to be the true like backup to Saquon. That's what I think. He reminds me a lot of Wayne Gallman, but he can receive the ball. That's basically my comparison. He has 4.56 speed. Wayne Gallman had a 4.6 speed. He has pretty good vision. Clement is patient. I should have mentioned this before. This is part of my notes. He is patient, but he lacks that vision. He it's kind of weird. Like he waits a little bit, but he doesn't hit the right hole sometimes. He hasn't had that much wear and tear on his body. Only about 350 reps. He was a really good backup to Josh Jacobs. You know, he has that kind of field vision. He can burst out for 23-yard touchdowns. He can do that any single second. He knows how to follow his blocks. He's just a solid running back that, again, doesn't have that much tread on his tires. And I think that this is a pretty good option for the New York Giants. And by the way, I believe I did mix up some of my notes. Armstead, I just need to mention real quick. He has 4.45 speed. You know, so that's not something to squawk at. That's why I believe he's pretty good in the run threat, because he catches the ball and then he's off to the races. And also something else about Booker. He fixed his fumble problem. Had 4 fumbles his rookie year. Has had 4 fumbles since. You don't want your running back to choke up the ball, to cough up the ball. That's something that he really improved on from his Denver days. And he has had some injuries. He had a minor meniscus problem in college. That's your knee. And he had a wrist in 2017. And I tried to do research, but for some reason in 2019, he wasn't playing. I may find out after this video, then I may put it on. But Devontae Booker, for some reason, in 2019 was just like gone. I was trying to look it up, and then I was just like, it says, injury. Like, this guy had, injured reserve. It seemed like they were using him whatsoever. And they were just using him on special teams, which I wonder why. Maybe it's because they're focusing more on Jacobs. I don't know. Maybe it's John Gruden didn't think he was good enough. But, John Gruden was pretty good using, 3 running backs. They had, Washington for a little bit. They were pretty good with that, 3-headed monster. Devontae Booker did compliment them. Just a fan watching Oakland and then, obviously, Las Vegas. He wasn't a bad player. He has good field vision, knows how to hit a hole, and, falls forward, which is what you want. And I think this is going to be the true guy. And I believe, going back to the Saquon video, you need to ease him in. I don't care, he's healthy now, so all of a sudden you want to be stupid? No, you got to be smart about it. If the player's healthy, he's healthy. I hate that, mindset. If he's able to play, then we're going to use him. No. You got to be a little bit smart. You can't be, I'm not saying going full analytics and then not use him at all. But I'm saying, hey, it's Saquon. This is your pride and joy here. He's not the only talent on our team, but he's the most talented playmaker on our team. We like to carry Tony. We like Kenny Golladay. But the reason why Saquon is picked number 2, not number 20, not number 40, whatever that Golladay was taken. And he needs to be eased back in. And I believe Devontae Booker is going to be really good for that. And I'm not too sure how good he is in pass pro, but nothing glaring that I saw on my research. It's not like he's bad at it, which something Saquon needs to learn how to do. So maybe in obvious pass plays, put one of these guys in. Don't let Saquon block. Because 1, he doesn't know how to do it, and 2, he's going to be scared because of his knee a little bit. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. Let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye, guys.